This is Tom with Mountain Laurel Woodworks. Today we're going to make some flight trays for Turtleback Brewery located over in Robertson County, Kentucky. Start by taking some nice wide walnut boards and planing them down to about 3/4 of an inch. The boards are really special. They came off the farm and from the trees that Turtleback is located on. Making sure these are nice and consistently flat. Make sure they sit on our X-Cart real nice. This machine makes short work out of cutting these flight trays out. Turtleback wanted 5 of these to be cut into the shape of Robertson County. One small trick is letting the machine cut tabs in, which keeps the wood attached and stops it from flying out. Here I'm trimming off those tabs, making it all nice, even, and smooth. Next, we're going to use the drill press to drill some nice holes for the glasses to sit down inside of. Drill these holes almost all the way to the bottom of the wood. And yes, that smoke isn't normal. I probably need to be using a sharper drill bit here. So these boards from Turtleback had a few cracks and crevices in them, so I filled those in with some black pearl epoxy. Can't let these awesome boards go to waste. Here's an up-close look at some of that black pearl. Once all those holes are drilled, it's time to move on to everybody's favorite step, and that would be sanding. I'm going to take these all the way up to 400 grit and try to polish out those pearl epoxy parts really nice. In between some of these sanding steps, we're going to route around the drink holes with a deep chamfer bit. A deep chamfer will allow the tulip style glasses that Turtleback uses to sit in these really nice. If you're thinking these holes are deep, you're right. Drilling these holes nice and deep allows that router bit to get down in there and make those big chamfers. We'll come back to that in a minute because we will need to correct that before we move on. And last step here, we're going to round off the edges of the boards. We don't want those edges to be too sharp since there'll be lots of folks handling these boards. Finally, we're going to move into the house and use our laser to engrave that Turtleback logo there next to the drink spots. The key to this machine is making sure it's all set up in the same location every time so that logo's in the right spot. Once the light is blinking, it's time to push it, start. Through the magic of editing, you'll be able to see this print come to life. Each of these takes about 15 minutes to engrave, start to finish. Once the smoke is cleared, we can open our lid and we get our first up-close look at this engraving. Well, this work was done over on the computer and told the machine to cut it. So this is the last time I'll be hitting these boards with sandpaper. This step is just to get the burn marks that the laser leaves behind off. So go through each of the 5 boards, and again, we'll jump that grid all the way up to 400 to make sure it's nice and smooth and consistent with the rest of the boards. Just sprayed a little bit of the sawdust out of there. So you can see that logo real good. And remember those deep drink holes that we had? this is where we're going to start to take care of that issue. So we're going to cut a bunch of plugs that are the exact size of these holes, and we're going to CA glue those in. That brings those holes up to surface. Once all of those are glued in, that last little bit of wood that we put in there is going to be a piece of walnut. And now we're back up to the top, like it never happened. To polish these up, we're going to be gluing in a little cork pad. These are self-adhesive cork pads, and just helps to sop up a little bit of condensation, or heaven forbid, a tiny bit of spilled beer. Just stick right into place. In the home stretch here, finishing, so we're just going to use some plain spray lacquer here. We're not going to do anything to take away from the beauty of the walnut. These will get several coats. I think we ended up with like 6 coats of this on there. So good thick coat of this spray lacquer should protect them for a long time. My wife loves that I do my finishing out on our back porch. Here's a final look at the finished flight tray. So I really love the feathering in that particular board. So thank you to Turtleback for letting us make these and many other items for you. Turtleback is an awesome experience out on a farm in some beautiful country. Look them up on the social media platforms and make a trip out there. I promise that you won't be disappointed. As usual, thank you for following us, and please don't forget to subscribe and like.